Did I finish the rover? I did finish the rover. I can show it to you guys. Do you guys want to see the rover? Do you guys want to see the rover? Do you guys want to see the rover? Yes. Boop. I know this is a top-down view. That doesn't really do you much good. So here, I'll hold it like sideways so you guys can see it. And like rotate it over. Look at this fun little guy. I had to fix it. So when I put it together the first time, this pin was one further up. And I had to basically disassemble the entire rover after building it last night. I had to disassemble the entire thing off stream and then reassemble it to put that in the correct spot. But now, when you turn this, it elevates and pinches my finger. Thank you very much, MacMo, for the Prime subscription. It puts the little rover into like an elevated... Here we go. There we go. It puts the little rover into an elevated position. Look at this little guy. Look at this little guy. It's got like a little crab arm right here. And a little sensor arm. What a cool little rover. And... Here, hold it like this. There's a crane that extends outwards. How incredibly fancy. Looks like something I'd use in Kerbal Space Program. It kind of does, doesn't it? It does kind of look like a little Kerbal Space Program rover. And you can turn this little knob at the back to steer it. So I can have it do a, as I said yesterday, an Austin Powers 10 million point turn. To turn around on my desk. That's a neat little Technic set. This thing's really cool. Anyway, that's what we did yesterday. And because I forgot their name, not the best turn radius, no, not really. I mean, it's supposed to be a little space rover thing, so, you know, it makes sense that it doesn't have the most amazing turn radius. But since someone so graciously gifted a bunch of bits yesterday, 5,500 bits, we are going to build the bonus set. That's the Lego Perseverance rover. Woo! It's Perseverance. We're just gonna cut it open with a knife. I'm just gonna do that. Ooh, yes. The set number of the previous one I had is set number 42178. So if you would like to look up that Lego set on your own and get it, it is set 42178. Perseverance, if I recall correctly, is quite large. Perseverance and Curiosity are... I don't actually know what the difference is between the two different rovers. I don't actually know what the difference is between Perseverance and Curiosity rover.
You have another subscriber.
Thank you very much, Wellhawk, for the Prime subscription. I really appreciate it. Oh no, we lost a wheel. We've lost a wheel. Is that the one that sings to itself? I think both Curiosity and Perseverance are capable of doing that, but I actually don't know. I don't know which one is the one that sings to itself. Thank you very much, Doramin, for the tier 1 subscription. The 1 month of subscription. Thank you so much. And now we will build another Lego set. Who's excited for Lego sets? I'm excited for Lego sets. Never knew you liked Lego. Just another point towards you being my favorite streamer. Thank you very much. I do like Lego. Lego is fun. Lego is very fun. But yeah, we didn't get a chance to build this one yesterday. So I figured we would do this. Perseverance is the rover sent to search for Martian life. Ah. Is Curiosity just down there looking at rocks? I mean, I know they're both looking at rocks, but is Curiosity the one that's Curiosity is the one that has the little helicopter, or had the helicopter with it. I think it still does, but where is this piece? It's not this. Oh, here it is. There is the piece. I don't like Lego. It tastes bland. It's kind of plasticky. Yeah. It's not the best flavor, I gotta say. That looks like a new piece to me. No progress bar on those instructions? No, the instructions from yesterday had a little progress bar on them, but this is just one sheet, so, you know. Have I heard of the game Wanted Raccoon? I have heard of Wanted Raccoon. I think I own it. It's neat. It's a neat little game.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
Thank you very much, Giant Sparrow Bee, for the 14 months of subscription. Sparrow Bee goes, yo, Lego. I'm conflicted whether I want to tell you guys about this. I suppose I can. I think this is the piece that goes in here. Is this the Mars rover? This is the Mars rover. There's two of them. There's Perseverance and Curiosity. They're both, from what I understand, the same base platform, but Curiosity has like better cameras and like thicker wheels to help it handle a little bit better. This one is Perseverance, which, from what I understand, or from what someone in chat has said, was sent to look for Martian life, or signs that there had been life on Mars. Perseverance is also quite big. It's like the size of a small car. And it used a rocket parachute to descend, which if you don't think that's cool, I cannot help you. Oh, you know what? Hey, I'm putting it together wrong again. There we go. I almost started putting it together completely wrong. Rocket parachute? No, like it. I'm sorry. It's not a rocket parachute is the incorrect term. A rocket crane. It had a thing that's above it, so it comes down. The whole rover comes down, like this, and then this thing comes off of it, that's like a parachute, and uses rockets to slow its descent until it gets close enough to the surface. It drops the rover off, and then the rocket parachute takes off. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Pathfinder was the first Martian rover. That's true. I don't know about like the first Martian rover, because I think technically there were some other ones, but you were like the first NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory Martian rover. So you are correct. Sky crane, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you very much, Mux. It is called a sky crane. You know, I don't think this Lego set is going to take me very long to put together. Maybe I should take longer. The first ever robotic rover. That I think is true. It wasn't, there were other rovers, but they were like manually guided rovers, which is difficult because there's like a 20-minute time delay. There's like a 20-minute time delay between here and Mars. So when you tell a rover to move, you tell it to move, and then you now have to sit there and wait 20 minutes for it to receive the command and start moving. Didn't the Russians have one there first? They might have, but I think it like almost immediately shut down. I can't remember. The worm gear tried to escape. 4 to 24-minute time delay? Goodness. That is quite a delay. Mm-hmm. Oh, 4 minutes at the closest? Yes, because... Yeah, another fun thing that people might know. Or people may or may not know. Mars is not always the same distance from Earth. Believe it or not, the planets move. Now we need this piece. Solar system goes spin. Oh, we're on the backside now. Guys, we're going crazy. Going at this Lego set insano style. Ooh, we're gonna build the little Curiosity head. I really like when the Curiosity. I call this one Curiosity, even though it's not Curiosity, it's Perseverance. I really like when they take selfies of themselves. I think that's cute. I like looking at the rover selfies. You know what I did? I put the wrong piece in here. I should. That's the same piece. Huh, all right. I didn't put the wrong piece in there. So the one where the rover took a picture of a rock in its wheel. It held on for months. Huh. See, it's kind of weird because it shows this. I'm gonna show you guys the instructions. Unless I used the wrong piece somewhere else, but I don't think I did. It shows this sitting flush right here with the body of this part, which leads me to believe that either it protrudes out of the bottom or I put this together wrong. Here, we're gonna try something. It's not like I don't got time. I got all the time in the world. Then the one Mars rover stop working and to fix
look,
itself and hit
another
itself?
subscriber.
Maybe. Thank you very much, Foamy Candy, for the 2 months of subscription. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's so weird that this piece doesn't, like, line up the way I think it should. Oh! I keep... Man, I am, like... losing it today, you guys. Look, so it shows you put this cross piece in through there, and then the next step I completely miss. The next step I completely miss installing this piece. That's why it's not lining up properly. The Insight lander hit itself with a shovel. Yes. Percussive maintenance. You know, percussive maintenance seems really stupid until it works, and then it's like, oh, this was a good idea. Now it's got its little camera. Percussive maintenance even works in space. It works on a lot of things. And sometimes I honestly think that percussive maintenance works more often than it should. But I mean, hey, you can't argue with results, right? It's all percussive maintenance until a micro asteroid decides to rip through the hole. Well, see, the problem is that's hyper percussive maintenance, which you don't necessarily want. You can turn this and rotate the little arm around. All right, time to build the little legs. We need the tri-piece. This is going well. Ooh, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. Guys, so, as you may know, or may not know, I have a throne. And you can suggest things to the throne. I encourage it. And that means that you could suggest Lego sets to the throne. And then I may or may not add them to the throne. Thank you very much, Divided Castle, for the 1,000 bits. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I will say you can try to add other stuff to the throne. The only problem with adding stuff that is not on Amazon is sometimes Throne really does not like that. I don't know why, but sometimes Throne really doesn't like when people add things that are not on Amazon. Ooh! Look, it's got articulated legs. Or running wheels. They can kind of wiggle about.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
Thank you very much, M&M. That's how I say it. I remembered. Thank you very much, M&M Matt, for the 6 months of subscription. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Gonna organize all the little wheelsies together. All right. Next, we need this. Ooh! Oh, shit! Thank you so much, Dryosynth, for buying the Wild Tiger energy drink! Thank you very much, Wild Tiger, for getting the 12-pack of Wild Tiger! Oh my god, I'm gonna have more Wild Tiger now. Thank you very much, Dryosynth, for that. Oh my god, I'm gonna have a 12-pack of Wild Tiger. Shit. Maybe I need to make a video on Wild Tiger. I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna add that to the list of things that I would like to make a video on. I don't normally do. I've never done a food review before. I absolutely should make a Wild Tiger. Absolutely should make a Wild Tiger video. I will definitely have to consider it. And then we just add 2 of these. Mm-hmm. And then that goes right there. Oh, hang on. I want to flip this one around so there's a little tiny divot right here on that piece. There we go. There's a little divot right there in that piece, and I want it pointed on the outside. More as a history video than a food review video. Yeah, you know, that's honestly not a bad idea, doing one on Wild Tiger. I will definitely consider it. Let's see. We need this piece, and I probably will have to reverse it later. Oh, there it is. It's weird because, okay, so look at this. In the instructions, it's got, this is the piece that I need, right? Which is this one right here. It's way darker in the instructions than it is IRL. So, like, I keep looking for a piece. I keep looking for a piece that looks like this, that's the same color as this one. Which is a little annoying. Mm-hmm. What are we building today? We're building the Perseverance rover, and it's one of the little tiny mini sets, which, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I like the big Lego sets. I like the bigger Lego sets, like this guy. We built this guy yesterday. I do really like these sets. I think these are really fun. Part of the reason I got this one is because it has like the old retro space logo on it, which is super cool. I love space crap, but I love the retro space Lego sets. Anyway, I think the big Lego sets are really cool, but I kind of like the tiny ones better. I like when you can do a lot with very little. When you can make this little tiny thing look as much like the Curiosity rover as possible. It's super cool. There we go. The technical term, by the way, for the small plastic bag sets is polybag. Ooh, I have never heard that. I know there are a lot of people who are way more into Lego than I could ever be. I like Lego, but there are people who know a lot more about it than I do. Oh, it's this one. It's this one, not this one. Why do I have the green oil jerry can on the throne instead of red petrol, yellow diesel, or blue kerosene? 'Cause I like the green color, and that's the color the jerry cans were originally in World War II, was the green ones. It's literally, I just like the green color. That's it. If I was, not that I won't use that jerry can, because I will, and I think it's really cool. I love that jerry can, and I want to get one. Not that I won't use it, but if I was going to use one a lot more, I would get one of the red ones. I feel like I've heard you mention playing Kerbal Space Program. I have. I used to play a lot of Kerbal Space Program. I kind of stopped playing it because I suck. But is there a link for the throne? There is! Exclamation point throne. Check it out. See what's on there. Feel like I would like the BD Armory mod for KSP just because it adds guns and stuff. Maybe not. I kind of like just doing space stuff. One of my favorite things to do in Kerbal Space Program was just try to build and launch satellites. Like not even really try to land on other planets or like the moon, just trying to build satellites. I don't know why. I just think that's really cool. I think the concept of satellites are neat, especially satellites like Pioneer and Voyager. Uh, I think that's really cool. I just think satellites are very fascinating. I don't know why. I want Lego sets of satellites. I want them to make a Lego set of like Pioneer, of Voyager, of just different satellites. So it's just a box with solar panels sticking out of it. I think it's cool. It's probably because they're cube shaped and I like cubes. That's honestly, that's got to be it. They're cube shaped and I like cube. Mm-hmm. I think they made a Hubble one. I think they did too. I know they made one that goes with. Oh no, they did make a Hubble one because it goes with one of the. It goes with the space shuttle set. If you do actually intend to use it, I recommend replacing the hose with a quick fill one. The hose comes with the wavy and jerry cans are too floppy and it's difficult to direct flow with them. I've heard that, yeah. I'll have to get some other type of hose for it. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. If I like Cube, do I like Minecraft? I have not played Minecraft in a very long time. The last time I played Minecraft was, I think, like 2014. It was a very long time ago. Not that I dislike Minecraft. It's just been a long time since I played it. And there, ooh. I feel like it's kind of leaning oddly forward. Is it supposed to do that? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. It is supposed to lean forward, see? I could build a giant milk crate in Minecraft. And I can move the little, you can move the little arm. Here, and I'll hold it closer for you guys. You can move the little arm around. You can have it look around. Wow. And now I have a little tiny Lego Curiosity rover. Its wheels are semi-articulate. Uh-oh. Well, thank God it never tried to run over a rock that big.
Oh look, another resubscriber.
What a cool little Lego set. I like this thing. Thank you very much, Admiral Critic, for the 16 months of subscription. What a neat little rover. What's the deal with Wild Tiger? Wild Tiger is an energy drink that comes from Jordan. Here, hang on. Wild Tiger is an energy drink that comes from the country of Jordan. And I talked about it yesterday on stream, but I still have an empty can of it that I kept when my girlfriend, before she was my wife, bought me a 24-pack of Wild Tiger. But yeah, it's just an energy drink. It's kind of like Red Bull. It tastes kind of like the U.S. candy Smarties. It has niacin in it. It's got like, it only has like 30 milligrams of caffeine per can, which really isn't that much. But like, it was everywhere in Iraq. So a bunch of like OIF veterans just like lose their mind over it because they would drink it in Iraq and then they thought that they were never going to see it again. And they came back to the US and then now it's available on Amazon. How do I fold these directions back up? Does it make you feel like you're tweaked the fuck out? Not really. It's just it's just a normal energy drink, to be like completely honest. I can put the Lego set back together, but I can't figure out how to fold the directions back up. How does this work? Who did this? Clearly the person that made the Legos did not design the folding of the instructions, because it doesn't actually fold normally. Oh, there we go. I got it. We got it figured out, I think. They're folded. And now we have a tiny Perseverance rover. I like the tiny Perseverance rover. It's really neat. It's got articulating suspension. It's like Red Bull. I think the hype is more of the nostalgia. Yeah, it's really more of just the nostalgia of it. Yeah. It's like when Coca-Cola brought Surge back. I think Surge still exists too, but like I think you can get Surge. What a neat little Lego kit. I'm glad I got that. It's really cool. All right. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do now? I'm gonna put this down right here. We're gonna put the little bag for the pieces. The little bag and the extra pieces in the box with the other extra stuff. And I'm gonna put all this stuff over here on the shelf of autism. And you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Now to go build the entirety of the Eiffel Tower. That sounds difficult. How much did this kit cost, or is it best not to ask? I think this one was like $5 or $10. It was I feel like it was under $10 for this Lego set. It was not that expensive. 100% it was under $15. The other one, the one I built yesterday was 30 bucks? Poly bags are generally $5.99-ish. Yeah. Yeah, they're really not that expensive. And now the little Perseverance rover can look around and it can mine space rocks. Room tour video someday? At some point I could do a room tour video. That would be pretty cool. Right now my room is a mess. I'm still trying to get through organizing things. All right, well, that did not take nearly as long as I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to take substantially longer than that. So now I have to figure out what we're going to do at this point. Let me get the keyboard. And then the robot Perseverance will drill the Logitech logo on my keyboard. All right. What are we gonna do now, guys? There we go. There is a poll that is currently going. There is currently a poll going. Nice looking keyboard. Thank you. It's a Logitech. I don't know the model of the keyboard. While the poll's going, I can show you what I did yesterday after I was done streaming and I put the model kit back together. Little rover was mining the glowy rock. He's just kind of drilling at it. Here, hang on. I'll get the rover another rock to drill at. There, now I can drill at this rock. While we're waiting for the poll to finish, I can show you what I was doing yesterday. Yesterday, I was cleaning up this. I bought a copy of Resident Evil 2 for the Nintendo 64. Because apparently this game is almost impossible to emulate on the N64. I don't know why. It doesn't, like, the N64 version of Resident Evil 2 does not want to emulate properly. And I don't know what it is about it. But when I got it, the RF shields on the inside, which I don't know if you can see them. They're basically the little, there's 4 little metal tabs. on both sides of the cartridge. And those go to a metal shield on the inside of it. And the one I got was very, very rusty. So I went to a local video game store and bought another Nintendo 64 cartridge that was really beat up and was one that there's like 10 million copies of, and it was like $3. And just took it apart and pulled the RF shields out of it and swapped out the RF shields into this one and then cleaned up the cartridge case. When I've heard the RE2 N64 port does some arcane wizardry with the hardware, and it's a miracle it works on the console at all. Yeah, it's honestly incredibly impressive that Resident Evil 2 runs on the N64. Show us random stuff? Oh, well, no. Oh, no, it's ended. Okay. Show us random stuff, huh? Okay. Yeah, Resident Evil 2, it's honestly really impressive that that even runs at all on the Nintendo 64. Thank you very much, Thanos, for the 20 bits. I want to get an 1860 Army. Should I get an Uberti or a Pieta? I like Uberti, personally, but... Personally, I like the Uberti. I forget how big Resident Evil 2 traditionally is. I think the original version of Resident Evil 2 is like 1.2, 1.5 gigs, I think. And somehow they managed to get it to be like 800 megabytes and then fit it entirely on an N64 cartridge. And then they added things like alternate costumes and a randomizer mode, which is insane for 1999. The person who voted I don't know, LOL, was based on this. What's the difference between lumens and candela? Every flashlight I see only has lumens listed. Candela, the difference between lumens and candela, the best way I've heard it described is lumens is horsepower, but candela is torque. So candela is basically the number, it's the big boy number, the number that determines like how much power your flashlight actually has. That is the difference between lumens and candela. Thank you very much, the little Pudge for the 6 months of subscription. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, so everyone wants to see random shit. Not everyone, just most of the people who voted want to see random stuff. There you go. You drill up there, little rover. This is just gonna be like a total ADHD stream. A total ADHD stream. Hang on, I gotta get the correct thing. I gotta get the correct thing. Give me just 1 second. Stream manager. Edit stream info. Okay, we're back. We're back. Look! It's the first random thing that I'm going to show you guys. What random stuff do I have in my pockets? Flashlight. Wallet. Knife. That's it. That's what's usually in my pockets. This is a book that my wife got me for Christmas. It's a book on Soviet bus stops because, I mean, look at that. It's just literally a concrete box with a pan. Why, you know, now that I'm looking at it, why is there a panel right in front of where the stairs are? That's incredibly dumb. Yeah, just brutalist stuff is cool as hell, so that's why I have this book. My guy's just transporting a bunch of watermelons. This is the dude they write all the math problems about. Look at this guy. He's right there. That's the math problem guy. He's just in a book. He's just in a book on bus stops. We're gonna zoom in a little bit so I can show you the entire book. There we go. He's right there. Well, that's a cool looking bus stop. It's a big old clam. Soviet designers are on some Caltech level cocaine. Wouldn't surprise me. Damn, that's a cool looking van. I like that van. I like that the image is of a guy with his horse and he's like relaxing by a river and in the woods, and there's just no woods to be seen. Looks like he's from Star Trek. Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a horse keeper. Cows! Moo! This isn't even a bus stop anymore. A horse just lives in there. That one looks silly. This one looks cool. I don't know what this up here is, but that's sick as hell. Bones was canonically a country doctor. This isn't even a bus stop. It's just two concrete pillars that are leaning against each other. What the? Okay, fine. I guess it technically is a bus stop. That one looks kind of fun. I kind of like this. These do not look like bus stops. They're more or less art pieces. You see, in Soviet Union, bus stop is art. That's kind of neat. That's funky. There's some cool stuff in this. I love that this bus stop is just in the middle of nowhere. There's like not a road in sight. And it's just this one building. Where potato? Where is potato? I like that one. I think that's on the cover. Yeah, that's the one on the cover of the book. I do actually really like that bus stop. That looks cool as hell. What's all this then? I'm showing chat random stuff that I own because I already assembled the Lego set. So now I'm just showing chat random stuff that I own. We're starting with a book on Soviet bus stops. Can I read Russian? Not really. No. My knowledge of bird. That one looks like a hat. That one looks like a bird. I briefly studied Russian in college, but I had a hard time figuring it out. Ooh. That looks like playground equipment from the 1990s. Oh, guys, we've moved from Kyrgyzstan to Tajikistan. This book is really cool. Ah, yes, the rare and very difficult to photograph passing car. He got it. He tried to get it like when it was in frame, but it was too early. He was just a little bit too fast. Is it a Lada? It might be a Lada. I don't know. Thank you very much, Thanos93, for the 20 bits. From what I remember, the USSR bus stops were the only architecture the government didn't fully control, so they went nuts. Well, clearly not on this one. They didn't go nuts. This looks like a bus stop that I would have made while I was in the military. Because someone told me to make a bus stop, and I don't know why they told me to do it. So I made the worst bus stop I could possibly imagine. Those are fun. Again, these aren't really bus stops. They're just more of like two pillars leaning against each other. But I mean, I got no room to speak because, like I said, I would probably make this thing. At least that has some effort put into it, you know? That one looks cool. I like that. So does that. This also looks really cool, but like, why make such a huge roof if there's only one place to sit? You know? You knew it was Armenia? How did you know it was Armenia? That's not possible. Oh wait, no, that's not a fish. That's a fish with a dude's face wearing a crown. That's a weird looking fish. Kingfish. Could this be the legendary kingfisher that I've heard so much about? Merdude. That's pretty cool. There's some neat bus stops in here. King Merman. I like how that looks. That's really neat looking. It pleases me. Look out, lady! That giant concrete wave's gonna get ya! She just turns around and hits it, and it just goes away. This is cool. Like, it's very simple. The fact that they got it to do that is really cool. I like that. Babushka, run! Run, Babushka! There are some actually really cool bus stops in here. This is sick as hell. Like, I don't know where the rest of it is. I don't know if there's supposed to be like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like a tarp over this? I don't know if there's supposed to be a tarp over this, but it looks really sick. I feel like there's got to be some kind of weird tarp that's supposed to go over it. Snake! That's all that's happening in this photo. That's all you can hear is just dooch, 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 dooch. This is a neat book. I like this book. Oh, there's more mermaid. Or no, that's just swimming lady. That's not mermaid. I got really excited because I thought there was more mermaid, but no, just swimming lady. Abdul. This one looks cool. This one looks really cool. Yeah, I am glad that I was gifted this book by my wonderful wife. Okay. Orb. This is a really neat one. I do really like this bus stop. That might be a Lada, actually. I could be wrong, though. I don't know Russian vehicles that well. Or former Soviet Union vehicles. It is a Lada? Hell yeah, I got it right. See, there's just more of the little triangle ones. They really like those triangle bus stops, huh? One of my dream cars is a Lada. You know, I kind of want one just because it's absolute... Just because they're not good. Like, I would love to have a Yugo someday. They're not good, I just want one. Oh, we got more like the concrete wave ones. '70s vibes go hard. They really do go hard in these. Estonia. Oh, that one's kind of neat. Looks like a roly-poly thing. That's just a shack. There's a bunch of sheep. And then there's buses, like models of buses. This is a cool book. I like this book. Would you like to see another random thing that I own that is just, it's just a weird part of my collection. And I'm so glad that I have it. Because it's incredibly goofy and incredibly stupid. And I put it on my bookshelf next to all of the weird Soviet shit. Are you ready? Behold. Gorbachev, has the real Antichrist come? The author of this book won, there's a thing that's called the Ig Nobel Prize. And it is awarded to people who do an immense amount of genuine scientific research and work, but for something that is ultimately pointless. The author of this book won an Ig Nobel Prize for calculating the probability that Mikhail Gorbachev's name is related to 666 and that he was the Antichrist. And then when they told him he'd won the Ig Nobel Prize for it, he was like, oh, I don't understand what's so funny about that. This book is absolutely hilarious. And the thing that I love about this book is that there are, let me see if I can find them. There are notes in this book. Thank you very much, Z-Stamp, for the 100 bits. I've been playing Calm Down Stalin VR for like 3 days straight. I don't know what that is. Let me see if I can find some of the notes in here. Hang on. Because one of the previous owners of this, one of my friends gave me this book. Like, as a joke, he saw it in a bookstore, and he was like, oh my god, that's hilarious. I'm getting it for Zach. I think they didn't start putting notes in it until later in the book. I don't know why they started there. Well, here's one thing that's circled. There's another one that's circled. So basically they circled a bunch of random things like the, like specific highlights. And then there's things like this where it's question mark, page 152. So like they're referring to like earlier in the book where it says a thing. But the thing that I thought was really funny, to me about this is by the end of this book, the person that was writing the notes in here had clearly had enough of this guy's BS. Yeah, this is what he won the Ig Nobel Prize for, he actually correctly calculated the odds that Mikhail Gorbachev is the Antichrist. Anyway, the thing that I think is really funny about this is by the end of the book, the person that was taking notes had clearly had enough. He had had enough. In conclusion, I want to go back to the Ukraine again, to the city of Kiev. Just months prior to the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, Christians in Kiev saw a bright light in the northern sky coming from the direction of the nuclear power station. As they watched, this light took on the shape of a fish, the ancient Christian symbol. Then a brilliantly colored rainbow formed around the fish. Then the most astonishing thing of all happened. A sentence appeared in the sky in Russian saying, I am coming soon. They circled this and then wrote, is this stretching it or what? In giant letters at the bottom of the book. I just love at the end of the book, the person that wrote the notes in here has fucking had it. They're like, I'm done with this. This is bullshit. That is why this book will just stay in my library forever, because this is hilarious. This is from such a weird, it's from a, not weird, but it's from a very specific period of time. And I absolutely love it. And the fact that there are circled things and notes in it just makes it so much better. I love it. Just, it's great. It's great. All right, what else? What else can I show you guys? What other random shit can I show you guys? I gotta put Gorbachev back next to the, other Soviet books. Behold, I'll show you this thing. I will show you this thing. It has been beheld. What this is, I don't want to say a problem. I don't want to say I have a problem collecting compressor blades from aircraft. I don't want to say I have a problem, but I definitely own more than one compressor blade from a jet engine. We'll get to this one in just a second. We'll get to this in just a second. Why? Because they're cool. I have them because they're cool. And maybe I need more. We'll get to them in just a second. We'll start with, you know what? We'll start by order of speed. Why don't we do that? We'll go in speed order. Well, I mean, this will be the last one anyway, but we'll go in speed. We'll go in speed order. These are These are compression blades from, oh, I don't remember the model of engine, but it is a Sikorsky engine. These go to a helicopter engine, which is not like any of these other ones. The helicopter engine, I'm still zoomed in. Oh, that's fine. You guys can see it better if it's zoomed in a little bit. Helicopter engines are generally turbo shaft engines, as opposed to jet engines, which are turbo jet engines or turbo fan engines, anything along those lines. So these two are from a helicopter engine, and I don't think they're made out of the same material as the other ones. I think these are made out of like a nickel steel alloy, especially based on like the darker color. I'm slowly assembling a helicopter in my garage. No, that would be kind of cool though. That would be kind of neat. When I was in Iraq, there were two dudes at BIOP, which is Baghdad International Airport, that were, I guess, as part of their deployment project, they decided to try to build a Black Hawk helicopter, and they got in trouble when they ordered the rotor blades. Because as it turns out, the rotor blades are like a highly controlled item. But they had most of the airframe put together, which is impressive, honestly. Anyway, they got in a lot of trouble. So, I have these two, which are from a Sikorsky helicopter. You know what actually would be a really good way to tell whether or not they are titanium? Well, they're kind of magnetic. Like, I can feel it kind of moving a little bit, but yeah. Thank you very much for the raid, Hobbytan. Welcome, raiders. Hello. Hello. You've caught me showing chat a bunch of random crap that I own. How are you guys doing? I hope you had a wonderful raid. I hope you had I hope you had a wonderful stream. I hope you had a lot of fun. I'm currently showing just random crap that I own, and these happen to be a bunch of rotor blades. Was that a neodymium magnet? It is a neodymium. This is called a mag switch. Again, more random crap that I own. This is called a mag switch. It's magnetic, but it's a magnet with an on-off switch, and it isn't an electromagnet. It works in a really weird way that I cannot properly describe because I don't understand it, because magnets are magical, where if you align magnets in a certain way, they won't generate any magnetism or a very small amount of magnetism. And then when you align them in a different way, now they generate a bunch of magnetism. It's weird. Anyway. Grand time playing some pretty little indie horror point and clicks. That sounds cool. Well, thank you for the raid. Thank you for being here. Welcome, raiders. Okay, so Sikorsky compression blades. So those are probably some of the slower ones. Like I said, they go to a turbo, the different types of jet engines you have are like turboprop, turbo shaft, turbojet, fan jet. You get a bunch of different engines like that. And they all kind of do different things. Turboprop and turbo shaft are both very similar in that they It's a jet engine that is powering a shaft, and in the case of a turbo prop engine, it's powering the prop on the front of an airplane. A turbo shaft engine can be powering anything. So on helicopters, the turbo shaft, the shaft goes up out of the engine and then it power into a transmission. So the next one, this one is from a U-2 spy plane. It's from the jet engine that powers the U-2. And I have it because, one, it looks really cool, and two, it comes from the U-2, which is really, really sick. CIA has entered the chat. No. Maybe. There's a little stamping on the bottom of it. Here, can you guys see that? Damn, this camera actually has some decent little fidelity. You see, can you guys see the little stamps on there? If it's from a U-2, how can we see it? Well, that's the common misconception, is you can actually see the U-2. It's just far enough away that you can't throw rocks at it. So. But yeah, this one's really neat. It's very, very thin. It's got this cool little like scallop cutout on it. One of the reasons that I have this one, I mean, other than the fact that I collect compression blades because I think they're cool. One of the reasons I have this one is because this was designed at a time where there was not any, there's no CAD, there's no like computer design for this. It just was a dude drawing blueprints out for how this had to be made. And I think about how much time and money went into designing just this component for the U-2 spy plane, and that's like astonishing to me. And I own one. I have it. It's right here. The next one is a compression blade from an F-16. So this one goes to an F-16 jet engine. And this one, again, has focus. Got little stampings on the bottom, and then there's two X's electro-penciled on there because that means that this part was not serviceable anymore. They couldn't, you're not supposed to use this part anymore. And this one is actually even thinner than the U-2 compression blade by a decent margin. Let me see. I can check the front of it. Electro pencil. It's basically kind of imagine like a tattoo gun, but it's just a metal. It's just a metal thing that goes in and out, and you just go on it to mark stuff on it. That's why the X's are made up out of little dotted lines. If the camera will focus, please. Focus, please. There we go. That's why you can see the X's are made out of handheld. Yeah, it's a handheld engraver tool. That's the best way to describe it. Let's see. This one. The problem is I'm using vernier calipers and not like dial or digital calipers. I think this one is 0.5. 0.05 inches, I think. I'm probably getting that horribly wrong. I don't use vernier calipers that often. My missus would love to see these. She used to do Q&A on turbine fan blades during the refurbishing process. That's cool. That would be sick. Yeah, this one's quite a bit thinner. Anyway. I have well-groomed hands. I mean, they're all right. I just wash my hands on a regular basis. Anyway, so we've got two compression blades from a Sikorsky jet engine, one from a U-2, one, take the compliment, one from an F-16 engine, but this one This one is the piece de resistance. And that is appropriate. Calling it the piece de resistance is appropriate because this one is from the Concorde jet engine. This one is from one of the Olympus Semca jet engines. All of these I found them on eBay. That's how I found all of these parts. I found this one on eBay. And when I initially found this, I had no actual proof that this was from Concorde. Other than the fact that the seller was like, yeah, it's totally from the Concorde. Other than the fact that the seller said it was from the Concorde, I had no actual proof that that's what it was from. It wasn't that expensive. Let me find this image for you. Hang on just a second. It wasn't that expensive. So I was like, all right, well, if it isn't, whatever. It's a giant chunk. It's a gigantic chunk of titanium, which is super cool. Is there a VIN? I think there are numbers engraved on it somewhere. I could be wrong, though. I know some of them have numbers engraved on them and some of them don't. Oh, yeah, this one does. It's upside down. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Here, let me turn it the correct way. So it does have a serial number. DBH1672? No, it's what DBH16/2. Where? Oh, explain this for someone who doesn't know what a Concorde is. The Concorde was a supersonic passenger jet. It was a joint project between the French and the British, and it flew for quite a while. And it's like, it really is it's a marvel of technology. Where did I save these images? Give me just a second. I gotta remember where I saved this to. The snoot would droop. Indeed, the snoot would droop. Where did I save it to? Is it in my electronic TMs folder? Is it in documents? That might have been where I saved it to. No, that's on overpressure grenades. That one's on the 203. That one's on a laboratory history of chemical warfare. Where did I save this to? Manuals? Or is it in screenshots? Nope, not in screenshots. Oh, wait, nope, there it is, there it is. So I found at one point, I'm just gonna do display capture, you guys can see this. I found the manual for the Olympus engine that the Concorde used. And it was like the service manual on how to repair it. I still have it saved somewhere, I'll just have to find it. But this was from the Rolls-Royce engine, and I was scrolling through it and I saw this. And I was like, that looks a lot. That looks a lot like this. This part right here looks startlingly similar. And I went to the next page and I saw this piece right here, the top of it here. And again, huh, that looks a lot like this does. That looks very, very similar to how that looks. And then on the next page, I saw that. And I couldn't help but notice there we go. Here. I couldn't help but notice how similar those two pieces look. And that made me really, really excited. Like, I measured all the things to make sure that they were all the same sizes.
Oh, look, another resubscriber.
Thank you very much, Eric Harmon, for the 2 months of subscription. The Tu-144, aka Konkordsky, was the first supersonic jetliner, but we don't talk about it. No, we don't talk about that one. But yeah, I found the I found the manual on how to service or how to work on the Concorde engine, and I saw this thing in it, and it's all the same parts, and that actually verified that this is a compression blade from the Concorde jet engine. And I can't even tell you how happy that made me to realize that that was the correct one. How many more do I need to build the Concorde? However many this is. And then I'll have the high pressure turbine wheel. So however many more of these I need. About tree fitty. I just need about tree fitty. Yeah, this. Even if this hadn't come from the Concorde, this would be incredible to me. Just the fact that this is made out of a block of titanium. This is one solid block of titanium that I'm pretty sure when they cast this initially, because there's a bunch of holes that are in there, and those holes are not just straight through. They didn't, as far as I know, they did not drill these holes through this. Because you'll notice that they're all lined up perfectly straight here, but then they're all curved at this end. Because they have to follow the shape of the blade. So I'm pretty sure that this is a cast block of titanium that was then machined down, again, designed at a time period before they had any kind of computer-assisted design. This was designed entirely by hand. Somebody came up with all of the specifications for this by hand, without computers. And then the machining work that had to go into making this, after it was cast out of aluminum, because you can cast it, but like this kind of detail, you don't get this. Let me zoom in a little bit more. You do not get this kind of detail out of a casting. You can get really close, but there is work that it needs to go into finishing it up. You don't get this kind of detail. Well, again, you can, but you still need to like finish it afterwards. So the fact that this was cast out of titanium and then machined down afterwards is nuts to me. I forget how much I paid for this. I want to say it was like around 100 something. So like I said, even if it didn't actually come from Concorde, the amount of work that went into making this was worth it to me. I was like, I don't care if it didn't come from Concorde. I'm paying for the machining work of this because this is like a fucking art object as far as I'm concerned. Like, this is beautiful. How much did I get it for? I can't remember. It was like 100 something. Who made the Concorde? It was a joint project between Rolls-Royce and a French company. Are the through holes straight? No, they're not. They're not straight through. Because like I said, you can see here that they're all perfectly lined up. They're in a straight line. And you can see here that it goes like this. So it's curved on this side. If I shine, will this work? It's gonna be really, really hard to see. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it work on camera. Oh, okay, it's kind of working. So if I shine a light on the other end, you can see the light going through some of them. But then you get to a point where you can't really see it anymore. That is like so interesting to me. What do you mean Rolls-Royce? What do they do in making aircraft? Actually, Rolls-Royce makes a lot of aircraft engines. Rolls-Royce is a prolific aircraft engine manufacturer. Anyway, I think this thing is super cool. I love this. I love all of these little compression blades. I think they're great. What is the light? Ooh, I can show you guys the light. I can show you guys the light. You will think it's very neat. That is actually a perfect segue into the next thing I can talk about. I just got to put my little compression blades back on the shelf. Oh yeah, you know what? I can show you one other thing too. Or two other things. While we're on the topic of aircraft parts. Found an A10 Warthog compression blade on eBay? Yeah, I see those all the time. I kind of want to get one. I'll probably get one at some point. This is a titanium bolt that is used at some point in the F-15 engine. I don't know specifically what it's for. I've seen things saying that it's to help hold the engine in place in the fuselage. But I have no idea. I think it's really cool. It's a neat little titanium bolt. And then this, I don't know what this does, but it's from a Formula One engine. I think it's from a Formula One engine from 2008. I think it's the Honda racing team from 2008. I bought it again because it's made out of titanium, and it's from a like race-used Formula One engine part. And it looks cool. I don't know what the hell it does. Some type of hydraulic fitting, I think. But it looks really cool. Yeah, isn't that neat? More titanium crap. I got so much crap made out of titanium. I love titanium. Titanium is such an interesting metal to me. What is it with me and titanium? I don't know. It's just a really interesting metal. I really like it. I like titanium so much that I got my wedding band made out of titanium. I just think titanium's really cool. I like the fact that it's an incredibly lightweight metal. It's a very lightweight metal, but it's an incredibly strong metal. I think that's really cool. Okay, yeah, I can show chat my wedding band some more. I also got it knurled because I thought that would be really cool. And it is 9mm in diameter. So 9mm diameter, knurled wedding band. I get it a little bit closer so you guys can see a little bit more detail. The whole thing was originally, you see the color on the inside, that's what color it was all over. But the act of wearing it has made it start to wear down, so it's got kind of like a silver color to it, which I think looks really cool. Oh shit! The NATO jerry can was just funded. Thank you so much, Jolly Bones. Thank you so much, Jolly Bones, for funding the NATO jerry can. Hell yeah! I will have a metal jerry can. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna have a jerry can. There are knives made out of titanium. They are a pain in the ass to sharpen. I know! I want a knife made out of titanium, but holy crap, they suck to sharpen. They're not fun to sharpen. Ooh, I can show you something similar though. Light. Okay. I will show you the similar thing while it's still on my brain, on my mind, and then I will show you the light. I'll show you the similar thing while I'm still thinking of it. Did I like the Allen wrenches I got you? I did. Thank you very much. You know what? Do you guys want to see the Allen wrenches too? It's probably no. It's too much. It's too much. I'd have to go get them. It's. Okay, I will show them to you, but it'll be just a second. Anyway. Before I show you the light, I will show you this. This is the Spyderco H1 Salt. I've had this knife for I may have had this knife for 20 years. This knife might be 20 years old. I don't know. I don't know if there's actually a way for me to tell. Anyway, the Spyderco H1 Salt is a knife that when you were making knives, generally the thing that you bond steel with is carbon. A very high carbon steel knife will be very sharp, but it will make it more brittle. And then also the more carbon you put into it, the more likely it's going to rust. So there's always this like, there's always kind of a weird dance you have to do with metallurgy to get the right amount of carbon in a blade, but not have it rust on you, and then not have to have it sharpened too much. There's all like when you start getting into the metallurgy of knives, that's like a whole level of autism that I'm glad I'm not like super into, because I would probably go insane. Regardless, the Spyderco H1 Salt is a knife that is bonded with nitrogen instead of carbon. This is a knife that is intended for diving applications. Or if you're like me and you sweat a whole lot, then you want a knife that doesn't rust. So the really cool thing about this knife is because everything on it is either made out of titanium or it's made out of steel that is bonded with nitrogen. This knife is 100% guaranteed to never rust. Skin oil won't corrode it? No. This knife basically cannot rust because they've bonded it with nitrogen instead of carbon. The downside to that is it means it doesn't hold an edge very well. What's with the big hole in the blade? That's kind of Spyderco's thing. It's for putting your thumb into for opening it. It does make it a lot easier if you're wearing like scuba diving gloves to open that up. That's Spyderco's thing though. They put a big old hole in the blade and it's like a thumb hole for opening it. And then it also acts as like jimping. So when you're holding on to the blade, it gives you a spot for your thumb to go for if you really want to get up on the blade to do more like fine detail work for whittling. I think this knife is really freaking cool. They make two versions of this knife. They make one that's entirely serrated and they make one that's entirely plain edge. It's basically stainless steel but with nitrogen instead of chrome. Yeah, I have never been able to get this knife to rust. And like this knife has sat outside, unfortunately, in water for an extended period of time. And it's still fine. The clip is made out of titanium. I think these screws are made out of titanium. Yeah. This knife wouldn't be really good for poking because it's got what's called a sheepfoot blade. So it's like a blunted tip. A lot of like rescue knives will have this because it makes it really hard to accidentally stab somebody. Is that blade under 3 inches? They make a shorter version of this knife. They do make a shorter version of this knife. Nope, it's over 3 inches. Sorry, man. Just slightly over 3 inches. You're at like 3.2 inches long. But they do make shorter versions of this knife. So if you want a really good knife to carry around, Spyderco does make like sheepfoot blades. So it's going to be really hard to like stab somebody. Anyway. Anyway, you guys wanted to see the cool light. I will show you the cool light. Behold, this is a krill light. So what a krill light is, if you remember on pocket watches, not pocket watches, why did I say pocket watch? If you remember on like wrist watches where they had the Indiglow, I think was the name of it, where it would, you would push the little button and it would, the watch face would glow. That's the same thing that's in this. It's electroluminescent paper. That is how this works. And I have, oh, it looks like a fancy glow stick. These, I like to refer to them as battery operated chem lights. I don't have batteries in these ones right now, but there's 2 more.
A gifted subscription, how generous.
There's a really old green krill light that is almost about to fall apart. Thank you very much, M&M Matt, for the gifted subscription. Oh, hello, Adora. Welcome to the stream. Isn't that almost opposites, battery versus chemical? I like to call them battery-operated chem lights because they glow like chem lights. That's why I call them battery-operated chem lights. These things are really cool. I like krill lights because, like I said, it's like an electroluminescent paper. They've got a decent run time. How long does the battery last? I think it's 50... No, let me look. Let me look. So the normal ones are 120 hours, and I think the extreme ones, which are the super bright versions, those ones are like 50 hours. Something like that. All of chat adding things to their wish list. Yeah. The downside to these is the battery life is not as long as it could be, right? Wow, only 30 bucks has cost me a fortune, though. Yes, that is 100% true. Something only being $30 has cost me a fortune. Are the batteries replaceable? Yeah, they just use 2 AA batteries. The downside of the krill light is that they're not super bright, and they only have like a 5,000 hour life total. Are they waterproof? Not really. They're water resistant. They're quite water resistant. I don't think they're waterproof. The reason I have these is because I think they look cool. That's why I own these. I think they look really cool. I think the electroluminescent paper that's on the inside of them, here actually, this one is ancient, so I don't care if I do this. See? It is literally electroluminescent paper. It's just a piece of paper that when you apply a current to it, the whole thing glows. I can actually maybe even get it to run. Yeah, pretty much. I just own a bunch of random stuff because I think it looks neat. Can I get this to work by like kind of just janking it together? Oh, we had it for a second. You're watching me do really crappy engineering live on stream. It's trying to work, just not very successfully. Okay, anyway, I tried. These were relatively popular right up about until LEDs. Right up until about LEDs showed up. Because for, you know, like 30 bucks, you can get this little electroluminescent paper that doesn't make a whole lot of lumens. It's not super bright. It's about as bright as a chem light. It pretty much is just a battery-powered glow stick. You can also get this little shield for it. So if you want it to only shine light in one direction, that's pretty cool. But then people started coming out with LEDs, and then you got these things, which you'll notice is way brighter. And you can turn it into a flashlight, which you can't do with that. And then these things run for even longer. What's the runtime on one of these? That looks like a flare from DRG. I mean, yeah, especially when you do something like... Boop. There you go, now you got a little Deep Rock Galactic flare. Let's see, single mode. $150 hours of usable light. Approximately 75 hours per head. And it runs on, what are they called? These are made by a company called LaserBrite. That's LaZerBrite. While this runs on 2 AA batteries, this guy runs on 2 CR2032 batteries. So 2 watch batteries versus 2 AA batteries for the same amount of runtime, even more light output. And while this costs about 30 bucks, this costs 15. And then it's like, what accessories do you want to attach to it? Because there's a lot of accessories. Would you like to see the accessories that are available for the LaserBrite? And it's not even all of them, just some of the accessories. I'm gonna leave that on right there because I think it looks cool. You guys want to see some of the accessories? Okay, we'll show you some of the accessories. So you have small tube, big tube, tall dome, smaller dome. There's more accessories, hang on. A tail cap that you can attach a carabiner to. A little lanyard loop. Where'd the other one go? It's somewhere around here. What did I do with it? I'm looking in my flashlight box and I can't find it. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Good Lord. Iris. The iris is really cool. I like the iris. You guys will like the iris too. Check this out. So, here we'll use the small tube. That's actually a very average size tube, right? I think it's at least 8 inches. So you need some light But you don't want a lot of light because, you know, you're trying to be sneaky. You're trying to be sneaky. So you can make it you can have it be a tiny, tiny little pinpoint of light, which it's really hard to see it like there. But in the dark, that tiny pinpoint of light is very hard for anybody else to see but you. The iris is really cool because this is like, it completely blacks the whole thing out. And then you can have it be as large or as small of one as you need it to be. It's really good for like map reading or whatever. And then, you know, you can have anyone go on there. If you put two of them together, you get cool, different colored light. Make it like orange. You want to be sneaky? Just use night vision goggles. And I mean, not everybody has night vision goggles. I forgot to mention, they also have tiny iris. So I don't even know if they make the full-size I don't even know if they make the full-size iris anymore. I think they might only make the small iris. This one is for night vision. This one only emits light in infrared. It's on right now. You can't really see it though. What's really funny, well, this isn't funny, but the infrared one has these 3 little lines on it. So when it's in your bag or if you're fishing around trying to find it, you can immediately tell the difference between non-infrared and infrared based on feel, or if it's dark and you can't see it. When you buy this one from their website, they make you type out into a box, yes, that you understand this is specifically for night vision and that you will not be able to see it, because I suspect that they had a problem with people buying this and then going, it doesn't work because it says IR and they think that that means that they can see it or something. I don't know. So when you buy it,
oh look, another resubscriber.
Thank you very much, FPS Aries, for the 10 months of resubscription. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, when you buy it on the website, you basically have to be like, yes, I understand that this will only work with night vision goggles. So if you try to return it, they probably just go, yeah, no, you can't do that. Where did I get them? I got them from their website. Here, I will post the website in chat. There you go. That is where I got them from. They have lots of excellent little attachments. I really like these. My power went out recently. The last time I tried to stream, not last night, but the night before last. Last week I tried to stream and the power went out, so I wasn't able to stream anymore. And what I did when it got dark was put these together like this, and then just set them in my bathroom, pointed up, because they'll run for like 70 hours. Set them in my bathroom so this is illuminating the area, and then there's light coming out of the top of it pointing at the ceiling. These are made in Moab, Utah. Isn't that neat? And the military loves these things. They buy these things all the time. They absolutely love these. This one has a little magnet on it, so you can just stick it onto things. This is the white one. I got white, blue, green, red, and then I have an infrared one for night vision. I like doing this attachment to it. Here, hang on. Now I can safely shit without the demons getting me. Exactly, that's why you put them in the bathroom, so you don't have to try to fumble around and shit while demons are attacking you. So one of the things you can do that I like doing with this is you put the little bungee cord thing on the end of this, and then you put it on like your backpack. Ooh. And then that just kind of hooks it onto things. So you can hook it up, you can strap it onto basically anything on a backpack. One of the things that I have done before when I had people following me and it was dark outside is I would attach one of the tubes to it, so it's just open at the base. So I would walk around and have it hanging from my bag like this, so that if you're walking around behind me, if you can't see the entire tube going, you can see the little red spot on the ground for where I'm walking. Yeah, I really like Laser Bright stuff. They're great. They're not too terribly expensive. You can get a whole wonderful little kit. I keep everything in this little pouch. I will show you how it's all organized in there. Why not? It's super cool. This is their old logo. I have had this one since I was in the military. Let me hold it the correct way. I have had this specific little tube since I was in the military. They got like a new logo that looks like this. While I'm putting this away, I can tell you the fun story about these. So when I was really little, listing the NSN right on the tube, yeah, I don't think they do that anymore. Maybe they do. No, this is one of the new full-size tubes, and they don't list the NSN on it. They just have the website. Yeah, that's why I keep this one around, because it looks really cool. It's nice having the old one with the NSNs on it. Anyway, when I was really little, like 11, 12 years old, I went on a vacation with my family out to Utah, because for some reason my dad had always really wanted to go to Utah. And I don't blame him, it's gorgeous out there. So we went out to Utah and we stopped in Moab. And while we were in Moab, oh yeah, in this little pouch. So I keep all the little accessories in this pouch. And then in the front of the pouch, I've got 4 extra batteries. And in the side, I have an extra little elastic loop. This is such a neat little organizational tool for this pouch. It's great. Anyway, we went out to Utah, and I went into a camping store because I like camping crap. I love camping crap. It makes me super happy. I went into a camping store, and this guy was demonstrating these lights. These little laser bright lights. And I thought they were just the coolest fucking thing I had ever seen in my life, and I really, really wanted to get a set of them because I was just so enamored with them. I don't remember why I didn't end up getting any. Probably because my parents were like, no, you've bought enough stupid crap already. You don't need to buy more dumb lights. So I didn't end up getting any, but then years later when I was in the Army, I went into clothing and sales, which is where you can get uniforms, you can get gear, you can get Molly gear, all kinds of shit, right? I went into clothing sales and I saw these lights that are available. I saw these lights there, and I immediately did like the pointing soy jack face, just at them, and bought like 4 of them. Cause like there they were. There were the lights that I remembered from my childhood, and now I can buy them, and nobody can tell me no. So I did. Oh, hey, there's more batteries in here. I should put that battery in this. Oh, wait, no, that battery should go with the... Oh, it's only 1 battery, though. Shit. Well, that's not helping anybody. All right, fine, we'll put the battery in here. In it goes. What was that noise I just made? Here, I'll tell you guys what. You want to see the battery, or you want to see the flashlight box? This is only some of them. This is only some of the flashlights. There's more. I have more elsewhere. This is just some. There's still more flashlights in here. How are there so... Hey, there's another battery. That'll go in there. It's ridiculous. Why do I have so many? Oh, hey, I activated the Curse of Larry. I have activated Curse of Larry. Oh. I don't even know. See, like, this is what I mean about... I have stuff that I didn't even know that I had. Oh, I turned on emote only chat. Whoops. Sorry, guys. My bad. Didn't mean to turn on emote only chat. All right. It's not my fault the battery box did it. I didn't do it. It was the battery box. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. You can't blame me. Look, this is a Surefire V1 Vampire. It's a flashlight that also has infrared mode. Isn't that cool? I really like flashlights, you guys. I might have a problem. I might have a minor problem when it comes to flashlights. I maybe own too many of them. I maybe own too many. Or maybe I don't own too many and I own exactly the correct amount. Who knows? That's a giant panel that is glow in the dark. Here, let me just blind you real quick, chat. All right, I'm gonna get all these put away real fast. Ah! We'll get there eventually. There it is. Can never have too many lights. That is true. Chat, if you do not own a flashlight for emergency situations, and by emergency situations, I mean the power goes out and you need light. If you do not own a flashlight for emergency situations, you really, really should. And I can show you the exact flashlight that I recommend for emergency situations. Because I have a specific one. I have a specific one, chat, that I recommend for emergency situations. Just hold one, please. Does the one on my Glock count? No, because you are not supposed to point a firearm at anything you do not intend to destroy and or pay for. Let me rephrase that. You should never point a gun at anything that you do not intend to kill, destroy, or pay for. So why are you pointing a light at a thing that you don't know what it is? I'm not saying that lights on guns are a bad idea. However, I am saying that you should have a different light that maybe isn't mounted to the firearm specifically, that you can point at the thing to make sure that the thing that you're going to point your gun at isn't your kid in another room. Anyway. What if you want to shoot the darkness? Then by all means, you should absolutely have a flashlight on your gun. Oh, yeah, here we go. That is the flashlight I recommend for your emergency at-home flashlight. It is the Streamlight Survivor. This is why DC cops lost their permissions for pistol-mounted lights. Yeah. Because a lot of the time, in order to identify, if you have a gun and you're trying to identify, if you have a gun and there is a thing that you want to identify whether or not you need to shoot it, do you really want to point the gun at the thing that you don't know if it's friendly or hostile and then turn the light on? You really should have a light that isn't mounted to a lethal thing and use that to identify whether or not the thing needs to be shot. Again, I'm not saying that you don't. I'm not saying you shouldn't put a light on a gun. It's just, you know, there's other options. Anyway, I highly recommend this if you need a light for your house because you don't have a flashlight. And no, the flashlight on your phone does not count. The flashlight on your phone, you mean the thing that you have to charge like twice a day, otherwise it just dies? The flashlight on your phone does not count. You need an actual flashlight for your house, just like you should have a fire extinguisher on every floor of your house. The reason I recommend this one is because if you get one of these, if you get one of these, you can put 4 lithium AA batteries in it, and now the batteries are going to last 10 years without it being turned on. The batteries in this flashlight will last 10 years if you put lithium batteries into it. The flashlight on high mode will last, well, what is it? I gotta look it up now. Oh, let's see. The flashlight on high mode. Fact sheet. Perfect. 3 hours and 30 minutes on high mode, 13 hours on low mode. And then this flashlight has what's called moonlight mode or moonbeam mode, which is 20 days of runtime. 20 days. Now, granted, moonbeam mode, let me put it on moonbeam mode. I own several of these Amogus flashlights. I do own several Amogus flashlights. I own 3 of them. This is moonbeam mode. It is incredibly dim, but it lasts for 20 days, which is absurd. Also, the fact that it will throw a beam 4 football fields away from you. You can identify something 4 football fields away from you with this flashlight for a thing that is this big, because it is 41,000 candela. This is like the perfect flashlight for, I need a flashlight for my house and I need to throw it in a drawer and then forget that it's in there until I need it. This is perfect. Just as long as you put lithium AA batteries in it. One of the other reasons I think this thing is amazing is because it is designed for firefighters, so you can just get the shit beat out of it on a regular basis, and it will still continue working. What is that in lumens? There's a difference between lumens and candela. Lumens, this is 175 lumens on high mode. I'm gonna point it down here. So light warning, that's high mode. That's low mode. High mode is 175 lumens, low mode is 60 lumens. And low mode is more than enough light and it lasts for 13 hours. The difference between lumens and candela, the best way I've heard it described is lumens, to describe it is like a car analogy. Lumens is horsepower, candela is torque. So lumens is, you know, if something has a really high amount of lumens, that's a lot of power, but if something has a good amount of lumens and a really high amount of candela, you know that that is going to be an absolute workhorse of a flashlight because it'll be able to push a beam really, really far. You can buy like a 2,000, even higher than that. You can buy like a 1 million lumen flashlight, but it might only be like 20 candela. You can get a flashlight that's really high lumen output, but it's gonna throw just an absolute wide beam that isn't really gonna do anything for you. So any kind of range, it's not gonna do it. It'll illuminate your whole backyard, but anything beyond your backyard isn't gonna be visible. That's why you go with really high candela flashlights. That's what this one is, actually. This one is the Cloud Defensive EDC HC. So this is the high candela version. I have it always start out on low mode. You can see how bright the hotspot is on this because that's what candela is getting you. It's getting you a really focused beam. Anyway, I highly recommend this one for if you need a flashlight for at home, you don't know what flashlight to use. These are great. They make them in a bunch of different colors. I would specifically get the Survivor LED, not the Survivor X. The only reason I say not to get the X is because the Survivor X doesn't have the moonlight mode, and I really like it. I'm sure that moonlight mode is incredibly dubious use, but I really like the moonlight mode. I like the fact that it'll run for 20 days. That's amazing to me. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. When I was reading off how long it'll run for, I was reading that off of the NIMH battery. When you run it on AA batteries, it'll last for 4 hours on high and 15 hours on low. There you go. That's how long it'll last for. I'm sorry I gave you the wrong numbers. I feel kind of bad about that now. I have misinformed you, chat. I'm sorry. Also, somebody had asked earlier, Crasher, you asked earlier if I liked the wrenches that were on my wish list, and I do like them. I actually used them to put a bunch of IKEA furniture together. I also did not realize how big the largest one in there was. I completely blanked on the fact that it was a 3/8 inch Allen wrench. This thing is huge. Look at the size of this thing. Good Lord. Anyway, big. Yeah, I'm very pleased with these. They work incredibly well. They're all made out of stainless steel. They're really nice. Really like them. Those were on my throne. So thank you again, Crasher, for getting those for me. Really appreciate it. Tire iron from Fallout. Yeah, it kind of does look like the tire iron from Fallout. Hey, you're not wrong. All right, I need to put something. I need to put this back, and I need to put the knife back. Put the flashlight back. What else should I show you? I should show you another thing. I should show you another thing. I'm gonna show you this really quickly. This is an easy thing to show people. On the topic of weird shit that I own, what is the weirdest, most off-the-wall thing? You know what? I'm glad that I grabbed this because this is probably the weirdest, most off-the-wall thing. Are you ready? Because I don't think you are. I don't think you are. You know what? You know what? Why don't we play a little fun little game? I will tell you part of what this thing is, and then I want chat to guess what it is that I'm going to put down on the counter. It is a tube. And I will also specify that it is not firearms related. It is a not firearms related tube. No, it's not my wiener, come on. I'm not gonna put my wiener on there. I'm not trying to get banned immediately. Nixie tube? No, it is also not, I will tell you what, it is also not electronic. It is a tube that is not related to firearms, and it is not electronic, and it's not my wiener. So I will let you guys guess. I need to get water. I will let you guys guess, and then let me see what you think it is when I come back. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Has everyone, I see everyone has been guessing. Does it contain something like a paste or a paint tube? No, it does not. I think maybe it was designed to contain something, but this one specifically doesn't. Is it radioactive? It is not radioactive. Focus, camera. Focus. Rock. It isn't this rock. Rover drilling in the rock. Cathode ray tube? It is not a cathode ray tube. It is not a can of beans. Vintage plastic straw? No. Is it just a paper towel tube that makes a good sound when you hit it on stuff? Ooh. No, I don't have a paper towel tube that makes a good sound when you hit it on stuff. I do have, this is not the tube, but I do have this. Oh, goodness. It's too big. Too big, I can't get it all in frame. I do have this thing. This is the bonking stick. This is like an old police baton that's stamped number 45. So I do have this that makes a fun noise when you bonk it on stuff. But no, that is not the tube that I was thinking of. Is that a billy club? It is a billy club. Anyway, telescope? It is not a telescope. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to see it? This is probably the most weird off-the-wall thing that I have in my collection. Maybe, is it? Tentatively, this is probably the weirdest, most off-the-wall thing in my collection. I offer no explanation further than that. Not This is a tube made of Ultem, which is a type of plastic. It's incredibly popular to make knives out of, or to make like knife stuff out of Ultem right now. But this is a gigantic tube made out of Ultem. This is usually what Ultem looks like. I guess it's just whatever chemicals you put in it to make it lighter or darker, right? This is a little tiny pill box. I have ibuprofen is in this one. But this is normally what Ultem looks like. There's a lot of knife companies now that are making crap out of Ultem because it looks really cool. From what I understand, this was made for a filtration system in a hospital. Like some type of air filtration. And they didn't end up building it or needing it. So the company basically had like 600 of these Ultem tubes that they didn't know what the hell to do with. So they just threw them on eBay and hoped that people would buy them. And I watched them sit on eBay for the better part of a year and nobody bought any of them. And I was just like, yeah, all right, I'll pay 60 bucks for one, send it to me. I thought it was so cool. I do still think it's really cool, because again, I love stuff that's like really precision machined, and this is just a solid tube of Ultem. Put music on it, it does kind of look like a wax cylinder, doesn't it? It looks like if they made LP wax cylinders. Yeah, it does actually look like that. That's really funny. I had never really considered that until right now. It does make a fun noise when you hit it. See? What if I cover up both sides and do that? No, then it doesn't do anything. It's really cool. I think this thing is really neat, but this is probably the most off-the-wall thing in my collection. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Maybe I'll turn it into a lamp. Here. Maybe I can make it into a lamp? I don't know. Did I steal it from a hospital? No, I paid money for it. I wonder if they are still available on eBay. Let me look. Ultem. One of the other reasons that you make stuff out of Ultem is because you can autoclave this. Like, this can just be thrown into an autoclave and then it's fine. You can't necessarily do that with other plastic things. Other plastic stuff will just immediately melt. Put the link in chat so they can all get their own tube. I'm having problems finding it. Damn, this little box is 75 bucks right now? Holy crap, they stopped making them and the price went through the roof. I mean, I'm not selling it, I'm keeping mine. I like mine. Cult of the Tube. Ooh, that's a cool looking, oh, that's a cool looking box. That's going on my wish list. All right, I have to watch that. I'm not gonna show it to you guys because then you guys, so one of you will buy it before I can get to it. I actually don't see it on here. Hang on, let me look through my, my purchase history. I know this was a couple years ago, but it should still be in there. Ultem costs about $220 a kilogram. Damn, that's expensive. I didn't know Ultem cost that much money. I want a cube made of Ultem. Someone find me an Ultem cube, like a 2-inch Ultem cube. That'd be sick. Oh. They don't sell it anymore. It's gone. The link is gone. They stopped selling them. Oh, that's kind of a bummer. I'm sorry, guys. I can't get you an Ultem tube. I'll tell you what, though. Maybe, if you want, you could get a set of birth control glasses. I think that everyone in chat wants a set of birth control glasses. A set of fucking what? These are the glasses that when I went through basic training, if you had glasses, if you had to wear glasses, these are the glasses they issued you. Everyone that wore glasses got these. And if they caught you wearing your actual, like the glasses that you had entered basic training with, you would get in so much trouble. These are the glasses that you wore all throughout basic training if you had to wear glasses. And they call them birth control glasses because they're fucking ugly as hell. The joke was, there's no way you're getting laid wearing these glasses. One of the guys that I was in basic training with, he had those glasses, and he's like, I'm wearing these when I get home. I'm wearing these when I get home, and I'm having sex with my wife, and I'm going to prove that they are not birth control glasses. I thought that was like the funniest shit. Why couldn't you wear your own glasses? Uniformity issues. Because people might have like fancy glasses or like whatever, and they want everyone to wear the same stuff. Yeah, I can't get you an Ultem tube. The Ultem tube is not available anymore. I'm really sorry. As much as I would love to share this with you so that you can all get your own Ultem tube, the Ultem tube is no longer available on eBay. However, those glasses were the same guy that sold me this, so there you go. He's got a bunch of goofy stuff. What else does he have? Man, he's got all kinds of stuff. Here, you know what? I'll show you. This is what I do, is I go on eBay. This is how I end up with so much random junk. I go on eBay, and I just start looking through random stores. And sometimes I find really goofy stuff that I really, really want. And I have no reason to want it. That's how I ended up with the Ultem tube. This is the same store I bought the Ultem tube from, so. Ooh! Thank you very much, Thanos, for the 20 bits. They do look like the Soviet glasses from Chernobyl. This is the thing that I just went ooh about. Oh! It's a machined tube. That's cool. That's going on my watch list. I want that. I want that. I need it. Oh, look, he's got a Boeing 707 vertical speed indicator. See, this is what I do. I do weird stuff like that. I find weird stuff on eBay that I don't need, that I want, but I don't need it. It's a problem, you guys. Become tube, just get all of the tubes. I could get all the tubes. Maybe not necessarily a tube, but tube adjacent. Here's another weird thing that I own. I will gift a subscription to the first person in chat that knows what this is. I shouldn't have said that, but I did. Mrs. Hazard's spider senses are tingling. She just comes running in the room and just like slaps the keyboard out of my hands. Oh, guys, yeah, if I get a bunch of tubes, then I'll be a real YouTuber. Haha. Looks like something that would go in a car, a pin for a dum-dum bomb, striker of some sort. It's a cat, but it beats me for what? You are technically correct. It is a thing. It is a thing, but I might need you to be a little bit more specific than that if a gifted subscription is going to be riding on this. All right, I will tell you guys what this is. I'm going to tell you the story of how I got it first, and then I will tell you what this is. I went to an army surplus store, as I do, as I am wont to do. I went to an army surplus store, and this was sitting in a shelf, and there was a price tag on it for $999.99. And I was like, why does that thing cost so much? And the guy was like, well, I have no idea what the hell it is. So I just slapped a price tag on it for giggles. And I looked at it for a second. I was like, can I look at it? So he handed it to me. And I said, if I tell you what it is, will you sell it to me for 10 bucks? And he went, yeah, okay. And I said, this is a tie-down component for the inside of a cargo airplane. And I'll explain how this works. I wonder if I can find an image. I think I should be able to find an image somewhere. Not necessarily that one. That's closer. Oh, I hate it when you open the new image and then the image is like even smaller than what it originally was. I'm having a really hard time finding the exact thing that I'm looking for. I guess this will do. That'll do. Kind of like this. So what they have in the floor of airplanes is it's basically a bolt that sticks up, right? But then the bolt itself is recessed into the floor like this. And the way this thing works is you push this little detent in, you lift up on that, and you can see that all the little teeth go from being locked in place to disengaging. So you stick this down onto the little bolt, pull the collar down, and now it's locked in place, and then you can use this as a tie-down point. So I told him that's what it was for, and he was like, no, you know what, that makes sense. I thought it was like a bomb part or something. I'm just like, no, it's just a little tie-down for like putting stuff onto the floor. Anyway. Yeah, I got it from an army surplus store for like, I forget how much. I think I want to say like 10 bucks. I'm pretty sure I said it was like $10. But yeah, that's what that is. 463L Master Pallet Tie-Down Shackle. Ooh, let me look that up, because that might be exactly what it is. 463L Master. I mean, it looks similar. Yeah, anyway. So that's a cool little goofy thing that I have. I got a lot of random goofy stuff, you guys. I probably have entirely too much random goofy stuff. Wait, where does this go? Oh, that's right. It goes on the shelf with all of the weird aeronautics components. Boeing sells the same component? Oh, that's funny. Never enough random stuff. I do have a lot of random stuff. What other thing? I'll tell you what, I will show you guys one more thing, and then I think I'm probably gonna get going because I'm starting to get hungry. I will show you one more thing that I have. Glad I'm mostly cured from buying weird things. It never stops for me. It never stops. I just always find more weird things and I want them. Are you guys ready for the last weird thing that I own? It's not that weird, like, by comparison to the other things. Like I said, I still maintain that the Ultem tube is probably the weirdest thing that I own, but here it is. This is a torpedo gyroscope. A what? It's a gyroscope that guides a torpedo. I don't know specifically what torpedo. Manufactured in 1966. I don't know specifically what torpedo it goes to. It was never test fired. The little gyroscope itself was never test fired because apparently, I did not know this, but apparently you are supposed to test fire the gyroscope on a regular basis to make sure that it will function when it needs to. How does a gyroscope work? Well, I'll tell you what, chat. Why don't we open this little thing up real quick? Why don't we open this little guy up so that you can see the insides? I know that will excite you. So this is the base of it. When it comes time to fire this, I'm pretty sure this is a little solenoid right here. This is under spring tension right now. A lot of spring tension. When it comes time to fire it, I'm pretty sure a current is sent through this little solenoid fires and pushes against this latch, which is holding this in place. We will continue the disassembly. That'll void the warranty? Oh no. Bold of you to assume I didn't take this thing apart the moment I bought it. Lots and lots of tiny, tiny screws. This is the end of the plug where all the information goes into and out of the gyroscope. Inside, you can see the top of the gyroscope. There it is. See? Basically, the way a gyroscope works is it spins. And that's pretty much it. I don't know if I want to fire it right now, because then it's going to be it makes a lot of noise. When you fire this thing, it goes, and it just buzzes for like, honestly, a good 2 to 3 minutes. Usually, I believe that in actual operation, power would be supplied to it, so it would continue spinning. But basically, what this does is when the torpedo fires, I believe beforehand, this thing spools up and starts spinning locked into a specific direction. So basically, wherever the torpedo moves, the missile knows where it is because the missile knows where it isn't. Whenever the torpedo moves around, the gyroscope still maintains the exact same position it was when it starts. So that the torpedo knows where it is relative to where it left from the torpedo tube. But yeah, I own a little torpedo gyro. I think it looks really cool. It's really neat. It was made in the 1960s. My cat is watching now, so behave. I will do my best. The other reason I don't want to fire it is because this gear, so the way this thing works is this is a little planetary gear system. This is a little planetary gear system, and the outer ring of the planetary gear system is made out of like nylon. So I kind of don't want to like fire it over and over again. Alternatively, I could fire it anyway, because it's been a long time since I fired this thing. Oh yeah, this is how you, this cages the gyroscope. So there's a thing called caging the gyroscope. Caging it is basically you lock the gyroscope in position. And you can see right here, if you look at this little arm, there we go, moves up and down when you do that. Caging the gyroscope, and oh, look at this, it's got little tiny ball bearings right there. Like, there's little ball bearings to make sure that it sits on the correct spot. Yeah, caging it basically just locks it in place so that it spins up to the correct position and then it starts to rotate. Oh yeah, if I take this off. If I take this one off, then you guys can see a little bit more of the inside of it. He said, dropping screws all over the place. Yeah, this thing is so freaking cool just because it's a bunch of very precisely made little tiny components inside this. Look, you can see the little sphere. You can see the little tiny sphere of the gyroscope in here. Is this thing even for, why is this thing even for sale? Because it's just military surplus stuff. Like, no one's gonna use this anymore. The torpedo that did use this now uses like, now there's newer torpedoes that use computers and stuff. So like, this is kind of pointless. It's just this weird little expensive thing. And again, I bought it on eBay. What are we looking at? We're looking at the gyroscope for a torpedo. I don't know what torpedo, but it's a US military torpedo. Ooh. Anyway, tiny tiny torpedo. Should we test fire it? Should we test fire the gyroscope? Could you, with enough time and dedication, completely reconstruct a torpedo out of its original parts? I don't think so, because I feel like there's still probably stuff that's like classified or impossible to get. Yeah, I don't think we'll test fire it. I think I'll just put it back together. I'm torn because I do want to test fire it, but also I don't want to test fire it a bunch of times and then it stops working entirely. Anyway, why don't we get this put back together, if I can remember the correct way it goes together. That is not the correct way it goes together. Come on. There we go. Now we reassemble the torpedo gyro. Today, live on stream. Zach assembles a component to a explosive device used by the Department of Defense. It's technically not wrong. That is technically not wrong. Oh, for God's sake. There we go. That would indeed be better than an explosive device used by the Department of Energy. Where did I get a torpedo gyro? eBay. eBay. That is basically, if I ever have a thing and you're like, where did you get that? Generally the answer will probably be eBay. More often than not, it is eBay. I have many, many artifacts. You know, I wonder if there's a way. I'm assuming there has to be. I'm assuming there has to be, right? There has to be a way to send a signal to this to uncage the gyroscope. Unless, when it fires, it just starts out caged, and then it uncages after a certain point. I don't know. I am uncertain. Anyway, yeah, chat, you do not have to worry. I am at literally zero risk of exploding myself with this. This has all of the destructive power of a very fast watch. And we will put the little gyroscope back together. If I can find, oh, there it is. If I can find where that screen went. Why didn't I fill out the firing sheet when I tested it? I don't know, because I didn't really feel like it, I guess. I should see if I can find another one of these. That would be pretty cool. When I was in high school, my algebra teacher brought in some old gyroscopes from, he said that they were from missiles. They were really big. I don't doubt that they were from missiles, but he had like 2 or 3 of these things that were like the size of a loaf of bread, and I thought those were just the coolest things I had ever seen. I've never been able to find more of them. But anyway, there you go. That's a coarse gyroscope for a torpedo. I don't know what kind of torpedo. But the serial number is 6145, and it was made in December of 1966. Isn't that neat? But I think that is probably a good spot. What is the NSN? I don't know. This might have been before they were doing NSNs. I don't remember exactly when they started doing NSNs. There's a BUEPS number, whatever that means. BUEPS number 100047211-Delta Mike Papa 3601. And then there's a P3602 is on the top of it. Isn't that really cool? I think that's a neat little thing. This kind of looks like a face. See, there's this little eye, there's this other eye, and there's this little nose. So a fun little robot guy. He's got little fuzzy hair. Anyway, I think that is a good spot to end the stream for this evening. I am getting pretty hungry. I would like to eat some food, I think.
There's no one to read unless you want to read Whiskey or Oro, which I probably would.
Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning into the stream. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed watching me build a Lego set and then talking about random crap that I own, because I do own a lot of it. And it's fun to show people the weird stuff that I own. I got a lot of weird stuff. Really weird stuff. Maybe I can do another one of these streams in the future. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But thank you all very much for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who subscribed or gifted subscriptions. I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys very, very much. Thank you to anyone who cheered or gave bits or donated. And thank you to the people that donated to... Thank you to the people that donated to the throne. I really appreciate it. I'm going to have an actual jerry can now. Google says it's a Mark 46 torpedo. Ooh! Well, now I know. It goes to a Mark 46 torpedo. I'm going to have to look that up. Hell yeah. Anyway, thank you all very much for tuning in the stream, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Jerry, Jerry, Jerry.